no. Please don't say no. Please just say yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, now that you know. You... Hey. Okay, so part two. What I was saying about sacred sex um, is that as a woman, I am sacred anyway. Like, so of course, sex is going to be sacred because I'm allowing you inside of me. And the more that I am have been able to embody my own energy and get rid of a lot of the toxicity and a lot of the trauma that has been essentially inflicted upon me through environments in which I was placed into very young and very experiences that I had. Like I essentially kind of really did my damnedest to get out of that and to like purify that shit from me so I can decide exactly who I wanted to be at any given point of time in my life for like myself and my family and my children and my community. And I wanted to be a version of me that was true to me. Like nobody really get to decide who I am except for me, what I believe in, where I travel, who I become cool with, who I give my heart to, who I lay down with, um, what I consider God to be, what I consider to be sacred, like what I consider to be holy. Nobody really gets to trample upon that. And it seems like in this society, many people want to trample upon your shit because like it's not theirs, and then get mad when you finally be like, all right, I done had enough of this. Like, let me start snapping back at some folks, even if it's not really intentional. But I don't have to be quiet because it was a lot of times where like my ass kind of felt like I had to shush or just something like. Then I just did because like people did you can't say this, you can't say that, and I'm like, why? You get to say what you want to say. You get to say what you want to say because it's more people, because it's more of y'all. Because what? Because you got friends over there. Like what? Because you own this place. Because you got somebody that own you or something. Like I don't know. Why can't I be free? And why can't I be free to speak? Especially in this land that's supposed to be freedom, especially because like whatever anybody say, whatever story anybody want to give or whatever is what, like not only did my people fight for my fucking freedom, I've been fighting for my freedom probably way longer than a lot of other people. Or I guess like I don't know if y'all was actively fighting, and a lot of y'all have been. And I don't even do comparisons, that just feel weird as hell. But I'm just saying, like, how can anybody decide that they want to discredit me or take anything away from me? Period. Like, including on if that is whether I want to have multiple men in my area. And then it just feels really hypocritical that, like, it's men that's telling me and that how I need to dress, what's appropriate to dress, how I need to act, what's considered like ladylike, what was considered appropriate for how I choose to do anything in this fucking beautiful being of mine. And not only is the men, unfortunately, like disgustingly, is the women too. Oh, how dare you? Like, what? What's going on in your head? Because if you like to play in makeup, you play in makeup. And if you don't like to play in makeup, then don't play in makeup. It ain't got to be a big deal. Shit. And if you want to play in makeup a little bit, play in makeup a little bit. Just make sure that we own that shit and that we making sure that we ain't messing up nothing like permanently. Because a lot of that crap got bleach in it and chemicals and all kind of stuff that do stuff to our skin. You know, like for the most part, the sun is my makeup. The earth seems to be my makeup. And like I like to play real close to the sun because I like for my body to be dark. I like for my skin to pop out. Hello. You know, this caramel body I've been telling y'all that I'm supposed to have, that like apparently I was seeing even if I wasn't seeing in the mirror. I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to be caramel. And then I even got some height. So I lost some weight and got some height, and I can't stop looking at myself. I mean, I couldn't stop looking at myself before, for real. Like, but this is different. This is like, yay. And then I got my locks and stuff. Like, who was the hell to tell a woman that she can't wear weave and that, like, she can't be natural or she can't get a perm or, like, to do anything? And that she not freaking gorgeous, however it is that she choose to play around with her damn costume, with her being, with her body. What? Like, I am the fashion. Me, my body, me, my soul, me, my mind. All this belongs to me. You don't get to decide, like, what? Nah. And I get why people be like, why we be getting paid to wear people's stuff, because we make it better. And I'm just like, I ain't wearing none of that stuff that money gonna go in their pockets if I can help it. Like, black, all black everything. You figure out even how my panties can be black. Thanks, Rihanna. Now we gotta figure out who's doing the manufacturing, because when I say black, I mean black all the way down. Everything. Like, what material and everything, like where we getting our materials from. And at this point, like, you need to be considerate of my planet, because as a woman, creator, and God, we are all connected, and like don't nobody really get to be having to suffer because of anything that we trying to do. And so y'all better pick up these scraps and all this other crap that y'all done did. Like, what? Y'all crazy, just having dumping fields along the highways and along other people's countries and lands. Is you crazy? Type of shit. Nah. So if you creative and you creative, then you creative. Like, you don't get to play with new minerals and get to damage the earth and do new types of mining. Hell no. Like, y'all better figure that out. Y'all better figure out how to freaking protect my earth, how to cover some stuff up, how to get back into some sacred rituals or something. Like, I don't even understand how you cannot hear the cry of the land and decide, like, that you gonna answer her call. She would tear this shit up for everybody that's so scared to die. I don't know. I'm going off. Or am I? Because we talking about sacred sex. So how much more sacred do my sex need to be outside of that? It's my vagina, my pussy, my treasure chest. Like, oh, it's mine. It belongs to me. It's my freaking valley of hope, valley of life. And like, shit, it can be a coffin too, apparently. Because I gave birth to my dead baby. I did. Give me no fucking, no, you're not putting me on no anesthesia. Not if I can help it. Like, why you gonna give me an epidural? This shit hurt. All of it hurt. Shit, like, I guess you tell me I need to take a shot because it ain't natural what I'm going through. It's happening. You're right, it ain't natural, and I'm going through it, and I ain't go, all I was hearing about was the problems of epidurals and shit that women was having that was keeping longer lasting. Nah, damn, a lot of women was okay, but I don't really want to gamble. I do not want to gamble with my life for real, and I almost did, and my baby was still looking out for me, and she was like, nah, we gonna go ahead and have this water break. And so that was that. When I got my daughter always coming up, so that shit's still sacred, even though she came into this realm sleep or deceased or whatever we want to call it. Like, she was very much still connected to me and alive. And even though they said that she ain't had no heartbeat, like, my baby was still together for me, because she was like, my mama said she ain't want no epidural, and just right when she's so weak, when she like, she's still saying no. Y'all heard her say no a bunch of times, and y'all keep offering it to her, and she ain't got nobody in here. All right, so when I finally was like, you know what, forget it. What she say? She was like, nah, water break. My body still was like, no. My baby, my water, my body was like, I said no. No, nigga. We gonna work this out. And that's what we did. And then I was like, I ain't never doing this shit alone again if I can help it. And it took me a minute because I did not figure I had to learn all the stuff about sex and protection and getting checked. And I had to figure out how to put all that stuff together, like all the pieces of the puzzle together. And like, it took me a minute to get it completely together. And then see, even in some stuff, I was like, damn, that ain't make sense. Why I do that? Like, I should have stuck to my guns, or I should have did this, and I'm good, but I'm supposed to be the tester. No, I need to be a lot more responsible. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we just always, people trying to always figure out how to oppress and control their kids. For what? Like, why? I used to tell people, like, did it stop you from having sex? Like, and what is so horrible about having sex if you are listening to your body? Like, how is anybody else supposed to be telling us? The best thing that you can do is kind of tell us how we can do it most safely and responsibly. And maybe, like, allow us to figure out what we want to do. Let's have some conversations. Like, instead of trying to act like that shit is just so dirty and so secretive, like, or it's sacred for your definition of sacred, like it's outside of me, like it's separate from me. This shit is sacred because it's me. I know I'm sacred. But you don't get to decide what that means for me. You can decide what it means for you. And if, like, what it don't mean the same to both of us, then fine. Because, like, to be all the way honest, I haven't been out there hunting for anything. And you better believe that if the universe is like, this is what it is, like, damn, why can I really not? Why is it so taboo for me to just be like, let me explore that? Like, why I gotta be called or looked at any type of derogatory? And it's really interesting how, like, men can understand polygamy all kind of ways. Like, however they make that shit make sense to them, that's fine. And women can too. Like, we clearly have supported it. We done did it. Cause we can be sisters, or we can be friends, or we can do whatever it is that we need to do, especially when it ain't toxic, when we healthy, when we connected, when we staying true to who we are, when we using each other to uplift each other and not, like, putting chaos and shit in our environment. Like, what? When we really try to be honest and try to be considerate of each other and all this other stuff, when we have some real conversations. Because me and my girls, we sat together and we did a whole lot of healing and purging and releasing and a whole lot of stuff for a whole lot of years. For a couple years, I guess, like, that seemed to have changed a whole lot of people's lives and perspectives and a whole lot of stuff. So I don't know, like, women are not my competition. I personally don't think nobody is my competition. Competition don't really, that whole word and package and definition really don't do nothing for me, because I'm just like, Who gonna compete against me for being me? Like, whatever it is, because how dare anybody tell me I'm not perfect? Shit, every moment that I'm authentic to me, whatever choice that I make in that moment that like resonates as the most authentic choice for me, you better believe I'm being perfect. Who the hell decided what perfect was? Like, whatever y'all definition, it's just like we love to allow them to, we love allowing anything to put words or definitions or anything in our path. That lightweight be insulting to us. And we embrace that shit and we repeat it and we repeat it and we say it again. Like, I'm not perfect. Why aren't you not perfect? Why are you not perfect? Because God is perfect. Oh, okay, so like, what? And don't get, like, I'm talking because these are things that I've been through too. Like, so God is perfect, so you can't be perfect, but you supposed to trust God for everything, and you can't even see this God apparently. But you should be able to look in the mirror every day, like you deal with yourself every day. So like, why essentially can't you be God? And why can't you be perfect? As long as you being uniquely you. That's perfection shit. Like, that is perfection. So telling me that like I gotta do anything, or like a woman is no longer worthy. What kind of pizza is that? From the mall? They deliver? Oh, off of like the apps and stuff. I've been craving some pizza. Like, hold up. But I don't want that. Like, well, I don't even know who got oh, let me go. But yeah, so men can understand why they can have multiple women, but they can't see how like a man can share multiple men can share one woman, and then you try to be like real disrespectful and like try to minimize who they are as men. Like, oh, only beta men do that, only this or only that. Like, if you actually was reading anything or getting outside of your shit, then you know that betas are actually the alpha's right hand man, best friend, protector, like what? Often warriors, and often over the training regiment of most most of their communities, especially in like the supernatural realm. Like, what? What do you mean? Is that supposed to be like, why is that supposed to be an insult? Why is it supposed to be anything other than like, what? Like trying to like take a shot at their masculinity because you can't see yourself sharing your woman with many men. Well, that's over there. Like, if that's what you need to survive, then you keep that over there. But like, and also, what? Like, your shit any more sacred than this over here? What are the lenses that we viewing stuff through? What is it? And is it beneficial to anybody? Is it helpful? Is it uplifting? Does it help with the community? Does it help with anything? Did it make you feel better? It did. Why? And then if you want to keep going, if I'm correct, like the gamma is the damn protector and is a sign, the protection of like his Luna. Thank you, me. They got their own protection. Like, it's like he her own personal bodyguard, her security. They got their own thing. Like, almost essentially like her brother or another type of relationship. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know. If it's not a part of your community and your culture, you don't have to be disrespectful to another person's culture. And I'm not really sure what culture that I'm going to go into at this point in time, but I understand at this moment why, and it seems very unfair that like why white people be able to have whole communities and like whole states like off to the side where they can do whatever the hell they want to and live life abundantly. Like, they be like, absolutely, I am going to have, they be like, absolutely, like, we got this land, we got all this land, and this is us, and we gonna do whatever we want. And then it's a known thing. Like, it be an absolute known thing. Like, over there, they have, polygamy, and they got their own communities, and they do this and they do that. And then the only time when you really hear something is when you hear about them niggas is acting wild. So, like, messing around with the kids or doing something like that. But they be having the ability to protect and defend their communities at all costs. Like, why would that not? Is she taking pictures of me from her window? Is that what the hell keep happening? Is that what I keep seeing? That shit is different. What is happening? Are you recording me through your window? I don't understand what that is. Okay. Every day I'll be like, I gotta get out of here. But yeah, like, every time I understand why people be just off and they be having their own communities. Like, y'all don't need to look in here for what, it ain't none of your business. And on some aspect, in some way, I can even understand the Rothschilds. Like, nigga, we gonna do our shit because we gonna keep all our power and resources in here. We gonna just, hey, expand that and build it. And I guess if you ain't hurting nobody and y'all are all protected and everything is on the up, like, why? Everybody can just go off into their own communities. And we ain't even got a beef. I said that shit on one of my old posts, like, a couple years ago. That I just, like, kind of, like, went past again. Like, essentially, we ain't gotta. I think the problem started being we started living way too close together and getting to see what everybody do. That, like, everybody that just, nigga, maybe we need some space. Maybe we need some space, and not in the way so that, like, anybody can be taken care of and harmed. Because that's the fucked up part about it, is that, like, it's some niggas out here that just ain't right. And can we get to a place where, like, that shit is not even a thing? To where kids don't have to go through some very fucked up situations. Men or women or children, like, boy or girl, or boys or girls. All the stuff of love that, like, people, all the things that people attribute to love, I'd be like, that word is so tired to me right now. Like, I don't really even like saying it. Like, what I'm gonna say back, like, I love you. It just, I don't really know. I have a deep affinity for you. I like that. Because that's essentially what it is. I have deep affinity for you. Because the stuff that people attribute to love, I'm like, yeah. mm, mm. How do we rinse that word? Like, how do you clear that through some systems and some, how do you make that, like, carpet wet? So, yeah, I was saying it's amazing how people know, like, you can understand polygamy, but you can't understand polyamory or polygamy, or, like, the LBGT movement. And there's a lot that I don't agree with the LBGT movement. I think that at this some point they just start throwing shit in there that really didn't have to be a part of anything. Like, what? What? Why is that? What the hell is happening? Y'all just over here, y'all just going wild for no reason. Like, this came in here, what was it, like I don't really understand. Like, what that was. And it almost seemed like maybe a mockery or something. Like, I don't know. Let me not. And it feel like sometimes like a lot of the progress that was made for them. I don't know. I guess there is still some progress and some stuff just be like, yeah. But on the other, like, but also just like for real, if it ain't for you and you don't understand it, why does it have to be so derogatory? Like, why does it have to be so? Why does it have to be so much hate against it? And sometimes I be sharing information. Like, there are a couple people that I follow that have some very conflicting views than I do, and then I listen enough and I be like, I can see what you're trying to say. And sometimes when I repost it, I be like, I might need to like really articulate why I'm sharing this or whatever. But then I kind of be like, well, if you've been following me enough and you know why I started following him, or you look at anything to know who I am, and you should know why I'm following him. And if I'm sharing this, then there's something in here that he's saying, and you might have to listen to it to like, that might be your journey. But, and like, yeah, I know it's like important to who you connected to a degree, and like, I don't agree with a lot of stuff, and I don't understand why some stuff is just so, it seems so hateful or so like, but then it just be like, well, maybe I need to really listen to it, because like, maybe it's the message really trying to go out or something, so let me catch that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, the government. Like, I can kind of see what you're saying. Like, I can understand. I can get it. Like, even if I don't know how to break it down and articulate it, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And there's some things that like we, as the American people, are putting out into the world that is watching that like can be very detrimental to us on some ways. And people think that what I'm saying is detrimental. Shit, if I'm the trigger, then hey, like if my hand on the trigger, then y'all gave me everything I needed for it, and I'm gonna be fair across the board, like, cause everybody, I done got a lot taken from me, and I done given a lot, and like a lot of stuff that I have received have seemed to come back from the universe to some kind of way, or me still trying to figure it out. And I don't want death on nobody that don't deserve it. And also, we cannot be naive to think that we just gonna always be I got a lot of views and a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I also was like, I spent a lot of energy on a lot of things, and something come across my desk and be like, you know what, that resonated real deep, and I really understand that, so I ain't doing it. Like, I ain't doing it. I'm American, and I'm African, and I'm indigenous. Like, period. However it all got here, it's me, my beautiful black ass, and I'm gorgeous, and I am beautiful, and like, I'm powerful, and I'm a warrior, and I'm sacred, and I'm magical, and I try to be, and I take lessons, and I like try to incorporate them things in my life really, really fast, like, without really even having to try that hard. I'm like, oh, okay, this information came across my desk. I'm supposed to put it on, and let's do it. It's like, I'm gonna need this for something. And even with my transformation, like I watched a girl of mine, I watched somebody really close to me go through something similar. I guess it was similar but different. And I was telling people like, I don't know what crazy look like to God, but I don't really. Mm-mm. Like I see the humanity in people, no matter the situation. Because how can we say that we come from so much struggle and so much pain and still not at least try to alleviate somebody else's if we have the capacity to. And I'm not saying that anybody get to tell you what that is for you, because sometimes you get real drained, especially when you're not getting no help. So for all the people in the background, like why y'all ain't helping? If y'all not that, if y'all like, if you saying that you tired of something and you don't get to assign the role to nobody, like what? But you can be supportive, you can listen or not. Because I keep saying all the time now, like I see why people just duck off. Like the people go get their money and they duck off because it takes a lot of energy to not. And you look at like all the fighters, all the warriors, all the everybody who fucking died, like struggling and fighting. Who the fuck want to be fighting all their life? Like at what point in time do you just decide like, you know what? I'm gonna pull up out of that and I'm gonna just help y'all from over here because there's too many of y'all that I gotta fight to try to help. So like since y'all fighting against me to help you or your family or whatever, like all right, then y'all can have it. Like have at it. It's yours. Anywho, all I know is that like when I say that I want my family and my community and my children and myself and my man to be free, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And in this environment, that's gonna take some money. Well, I've been doing the best I can with what I got, and now I'm like, let's up the ante. So back to the sacred sex. How can you tell a woman, especially a woman that has been through hell and back multiple times, and then I'm just one woman. Like I'm not the only sacred woman. We shit like when you look at any woman entertainer, look at anybody who give credit to their mama, to like, not even just the women entertainers, the men, like, what? And we even go into situations where we don't know nothing about to make sure our kids is protected the best way that we know how to protect them. Like, let me go in here and figure out, make sure your money is good, or manage you, or protect you, or figure out what my woman's intuition can tell me about these niggas around here, or these women, or whatever it is that we naturally do. So, sacred sex. Like, women ain't gotta have no whole phase. Who the fuck said that it's a whole phase? Like, what? It can be explorative. It can be whatever the hell she wanted to be. If she decided at 14, 15 years old that she ready to have sex and all, and she like just want to explore sex, then make sure that you put her in a position to like where she can be protected. And if you got the right community, if you have, I was different. Um, I was different. Um, yeah. So what was I saying? What was I saying? Before, because I'm like, you just gonna keep calling. You couldn't just leave a voicemail. It'd be so funny whenever I'm doing something. Like how my phone barely ever ring or nothing, and then it'd be random. I'm like, okay, who listening? Who's like, let me interrupt that powerful moment or whatever it is. Oh yeah, so then we would just make sure that like she is in the position, and he, because if you have a community, then you kind of got like, if you have a community and your kid and your youth are being open and honest about it, they don't have to sneak in anything, because you don't want an environment where your kids gotta sneak and lie. You want to create an environment so where no matter what it is, because you get to be a parent, you get to be in a essential mothering role, like hands on for a very short period of time. And one something I learned from my friends and stuff was that, like, you need to see what type of parent that you want to be for the rest of your kids' life. Like, if you want to be somebody that they want to come and confide in about what's going on, right? Like, and have real conversations with them, because everybody be trying to lie and pretend and like act like they ain't did some shit, or they want to have real short memories about their lives and their time together when, like, you did it. Why we hiding? Why I gotta be a secret? Use that shit as a lesson. Talk to your kids. Talk to them about what's out here. Cause I'm talking to mine. I'm gonna talk to my kids, even if I gotta give it to them. Like y'all do Santa Claus, but it's gonna be me. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't really do tradition. I don't do all them traditions and shit. Like, why I gotta make up some shit when I could just take some reality and shit, we can just do something sacred with that, to acknowledge that, to pay homage to that. Like, and if we want to figure out what we gonna do with that, then we gonna do with that. We want to figure out how we gonna incorporate our own traditions or rituals in it, then we is. And it ain't gotta be on nobody's dates but what we decide, like, or cycles or whatever. Like, why we still paying homage to, like, do anybody even know what we celebrating for real, for real? That ain't none of my business. I think that I love the fact that it allows people to come together, but like, if you understand the Jewish culture, they have their own calendar, they own schools, they own vacations, they own everything where they shut stuff down while they operating here in the United States or anywhere else. Like, so why in the hell can't we be afforded them same liberties, especially here in this land or any land? Just all of our land, just all of it belongs to us. All of it belongs to us. Is one reason why they want to keep us so separated by certain shit. Like, what? And I feel like if you, like, some stuff be so deep rooted, go figure it out. Like, how you get to look at us over here and be like, oh, judging this and trying to send all this damn witchcraft or spell work against us because you don't like what we doing. Like, you speaking so freaking harsh against what we doing because you think that yours is supposed to be. Why? Who the fuck told you you was anything special? Like, and you can be, but how special are you destroying something over here? Like, and you like, oh, you looking at it like, oh, that just goes to show like how deviant or what somebody did to us, or all of this to you shows like the post-traumatic slave disorder and all that, huh? When it can't be this, it can't be the fact that you got this entire mentality where it's just actually the post-traumatic slave syndrome and disorder. Like, that can't be what it is. That, like, you got so traumatized with sex, you can only see it this way now. It gotta be this way. Okay. Or it can all just be what it is. Like, because if it can be judged one way, it can be judged the other way. Mirrors. Let me see. Hey, Barry and Nichelle. How you doing? Hey, Nikki J. What do I want to say to you today about anything that you've been through, anything that, like, has happened to you, and the woman that you are today? Is there anything that you have been through to make you feel like you less empowered because you had sex with more than one man at a time? No. Did it make you feel powerful? Didn't think about it like that either. I was just moving accordingly to how I was moving, however. And however it ended, however it came, whatever happened after that, like, it just happened. And I could say that, like, it just showed that I had more heart and more everything than anybody else connected to me if I had to go through it alone or whatever. Like, okay, that I already was in a position to be able to make decisions for myself either way it went. And those decisions even went to as far as planning to get the fuck up out of here because, like, if ain't nobody gonna be around here anyway, then me and my baby can go somewhere else, right? Oh, so like, why would I look at myself like I did anything but be myself? Especially back then. Yes, I was having sex with 2 men, and I got pregnant. And even if I was having sex with both of them unprotected, like, I had 2 men that I was sexually involved with, and I wasn't keeping neither one of them a secret. And then I laid everything on the table, and however they responded and acted accordingly, that shit really had nothing to do with me. Because one thing that I'm not doing ever is carrying anybody else's responsibility in lives for them. Like, I don't have to be, why would I think negatively of myself? Because I was giving my body and my time and energy to whoever I want because they were reciprocal of it. And this one even got down to, while we was messing around, his ass done went down to New York, almost got signed with a record label, a major, that one of the hottest record labels at the time, like, all in that space, all in that shit, and I was throwing up the rock, the diamond way before he even came along in my life. So, you know, we had a mutual this, and you went over there and your fucking music career was about to take off. And okay, like, I ain't had nothing over there. And this one, because they was both younger than me, essentially a year or two, like, whatever. So, and I guess that, you know, me, I had a lot going on. I was already in the military. I had been on my own for a long time. I was living out of town, commuting back and forth. I was in college. Like, shit, I was always ready to move how I needed to move. And neither one of them had their own place. So it wasn't nothing about that. I was always looking at their heart and their soul and who they were. And regardless of whatever was happening on the physical, like, the women wanted them, period. And including me, and I had them. Because whenever I was in their presence, really, I ain't have no issues with no other women. And I didn't think that they had any issues with any men because those was the 2 that I was really rocking with. And anything else was like, whatever. And then did it went on. Like, my relationship with men has been my relationship with men. And I think that I have did a damn good job of teaching myself how to be. Because who else can teach me how to be me? Even if I have to go through and unravel all that shit that, like, anybody was trying to tell me I had to be. So when we talk about sacred sex, I am sacred. I'm sacred. So yes, my sex is sacred. Whether I want to have in a community and, like, we can do whatever the hell we want to do around here. Shit, what Beyonce say, I can twirl around on another dick. And I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. You know, Lil Flip gon' do what he like. Hey. But I'm saying, like, why does it have to be anything? And who would decide that, like, they get to throw stones at me? Or they get to hurt me? Or call me out my name? Or judge me and whatever's going on in me and my household? Like, what? And as far as women, like, why would any woman want to judge me either? Shit, you should give me props and give me high fives and decide, like, what it is that you want to do in your life. We ain't got to be judging each other, especially as grown-ass people who have been through a lot of shit. Because I done known a whole lot of people in our communities who have been in relationships and them shits is not happy and they not satisfied and it's been a whole lot of cheating and a whole lot of dissatisfaction and a whole lot of other stuff. So you get to decide what makes you happy. And I feel like maybe I'm learning that it might be easier for me because I ain't really attached to nobody. I don't got nobody family morals to keep up with. I ain't got nobody family expectations to keep up with. I don't have, like, You don't really gotta like me. Like, I ain't really asking you to bring me into your family and for me to like everybody. Naturally, I'm usually cool with everybody. Like, because why would we be a family and we beefing? I don't want to get into a family and be beefing with nobody. Shit, I've been by myself for a long time, for real. Like, I don't got to do that. We do not have to be beefing. It don't have to be no nothing. And whatever situation I'm in, I expect to be protected and I expect to be safe. And not only for me, but me and everybody else. So, like, shit, it's all kind of laws and all kind of rules and all kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, because this is my land, I guess I don't have to give it up. I shouldn't have to. So I should be able to have as many cities and properties that I want in this land and any other land that I want to go to. And I should be able to have the freedom to explore them all with me and my family and whoever else. Like, don't nobody gotta accept what the hell we doing. You don't have to, because we probably ain't trying to, like, very rarely are people trying to come in and recruit y'all. And if you looking over here enough to be judging, why you looking? What you looking for? Just to be judging. Like, that means that it's something over here that you really interested in, or you might be jealous about. But then, I mean, you're really interested in it. You need to go do some deep diving inside and figure out, like, if you're trying to decide if you want to be a part of this community and how you can get in. Don't try to tear us down. Lift us up. Shit. Lift us up. Can be free. Do you know, like, the creativity and the love and the flow that freedom brings? That's why these niggas don't want us to be free. And at this point, we just be like, okay, we using all they tools and weapons that we say they put in place back then against our people. We just do it for them. For a little bit of what? Tax breaks? Like, nigga, I was brought into the church, or the black church, so violently. Is you crazy? That shit probably should have never touched me. And when it did, they went all the way to the, ugh. No. I like this little, look at that. So cute. But anywho, because I was like, if I'm be talking about some sacred sex, let me go ahead and try to, I tried to do this. I tried to get a little bit sexier on here, because I was like, we talking about sacred sex. I wanted a little sexy. The best way to, like, I'm a dude. That's me. And but for real, like, I be saying a lot of stuff, and I be meaning it. I be meaning it. I follow a lot of things that I follow. I think that the more freedom that you give people, which is automatically theirs, the more honesty, the more transparency, then we don't really waste a lot of time and energy and stuff that we don't want to be associated with. And I feel like we should be able to make up the rules as we go. And fuck what anybody else gotta say. So I need somebody that's not, I be wanting people that's not, like, worried about what anybody else gotta say about them. And in this country, I guess that may take a lot of stuff. Because for us to be so powerful, we try to say that, like, they say that we can't do a lot of stuff. Like, nigga, who your parents? Like, not like that, but like, who the hell's to tell me that I can't do this? Who are you? Nigga, who is you? What does that mean? How you gonna pass a law saying I can't get an abortion if I choose that I want to get an abortion? When there's not the proper education and tools and community and anything clearly being put in place then, so, like, it doesn't have to be an option. So as long as this needs to be an option, nigga, it can be an option. Who are you to take that from us? And for all them whack ass motherfuckers that be talking about, adopt or anything, how many fucking adoptees you done took in? How much money is you giving to any foster care or adoption agencies or families that adopted? Like, how helpful are you being to the unwanted kids out here, to the lost kids, to the abandoned kids? Like, what the fuck is you doing outside of typing or saying some shit or going to vote no? Then you sit the fuck down and shut up too. You don't go get an abortion. How dare you say that somebody else can't get one when you ain't doing nothing to assist any problem. A lot of y'all niggas just love to fucking talk. And just love to be oppressive of somebody else's shit. Get the hell out of here. Like, and then it don't even stop them niggas up there, cause like, if you get pregnant by the wrong nigga, guess what? I watched enough TV, them niggas gonna make sure you dead or something. Like, that baby gonna be dead anyway, in one way or another, whether it's through the mama or whatever. Like, if they don't want it, so they gonna abort some shit anyway. Somehow, some way. Whether they abort responsibility, whether they abort connection, whether they abort financial, anything. Like, so abortions get committed all the time. So how dare you tell me that I just can't be like, I'm gonna look at this situation and damn, like, you can't come up in here. We ain't even gonna do that. It ain't gonna make no sense for neither one of us. Nobody in this situation. Okay, goodbye. Like, what? That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense at all. I don't care about who's Bible, law, or God, or anything else. Like, until you start creating better communities to where women decide that we feel safe enough and secure enough, and like our babies feel safe enough and secure enough to where we can either plan for them or we ain't got to plan for them, because it's a plan either way. Like, whenever they come, they in the position to be fully, thoroughly taken care of in an environment that's conducive to everybody. Like, we ain't gotta have no damn drama. We ain't gotta have no drama. So until we can create those type of environments, like, how dare you say what somebody can and can't give? And whatever the reason Planned Parenthood was built, yeah, it could have had a dark history, and guess what? We need that shit clearly. Because even for anybody that got to talk shit about black women getting abortions and all this other stuff, like, what is you doing? What is you doing? And I ain't looking like, I can hear what y'all saying. I get it. I've been there, like, I get it. We losing a lot of souls and a lot of babies, and it might be a lot of retribution. It might be some other stuff like I ain't been able to tap into yet. It don't necessarily have to be a bad thing, like, shit. Unless you see it as a bad thing. For some women, it's what needs to be done. And as a man, as men, because there's a lot of y'all men that's already living in a society, matriarchal society, and y'all just really haven't been stepping up to be the protection that the women need behind them. And of course, we always gonna blame the black women, because that's just what happens. Like, because if she gotta be in the household, or she in the household and she taking care of that shit, and she trying to be cordial enough and responsive enough and responsible enough or whatever enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna just, you know what, I'm looking at my child and I'm like, regardless of what you got going on, I got going on, anybody else got going on, like, I need to figure out how to make sure that this beautiful soul in front of me get the best of everything. So oftentimes we gotta fucking bite our lip for a whole lot of shit, like, that don't seem fair. We get a whole lot of the responsibility. So in these areas, especially that's like the urban areas, like, where is our fucking real protection and our soldiers at? Because y'all do expect us to work and cook and clean and go and all the other stuff, and we can do it. We can definitely do it. And then all of a sudden, like, we gold diggers or something wrong when we say we want to do something more. Oh, I heard that shit before. I was like, nigga, I don't care about being no damn gold digger. And I ain't digging for no gold. I wanted to just come. Like, I just wanted to be given to, I don't got to dig. I don't want to dig. I don't want to dig too far. Not for, like, not outside of me. I'll dig in me for all the good gold. So if I'm like, I'm a gold digger for myself, I'm going to make sure that I try to purge and get to know myself and do all this stuff to dig, to get rid of all that dirt, all that whatever that I don't want, so I can get down to the gold. And I think I did a good job. I think I did a fantastic, amazing job. Hey, girl. And whatever comes with that, however I want to do, whatever I want to do with my gold rush, is mine. It belongs to me. And so in this society, like, hey, we don't need none of that. We don't need none of that other shit. So yeah, that's how I feel. That's where I'm at. That's just exactly where I'm at. And it's like a whole lot of stuff that I be like, oh, I see a whole lot of stuff different, and I be wanting to know. And for people that's like, oh, monogamy is like my challenge, or like I'm choosing to commit to this one woman, that's awesome. And if you feel like you choosing to commit to one woman, she has to only commit to you, that's cool. Y'all can be cool. Y'all can do that. And is it a sacrifice? Like, I don't know. We got to think about sacrificing. And once again, I ain't saying that you got to go out and you like, oh, like, because we don't always know. We don't always know. And also, I ain't really about to be lying to nobody. Because I'm like, let's be open. Let's be open-minded. Let's be open. And if I'm in your, and we are in each other's presence, and like that energy never comes around, like I'm not really pulled in another direction, or you ain't pulled in another direction to where we want to explore that like that, then that's fine. But if we are, why the hell does it have to be so negative? Why does it have to be such a sacrifice for you? Like, if you really being pulled in that direction, like, let's have a conversation and let's see what that's supposed to look like. Let's see how this get. And the thing about some men, like, y'all don't want to open shit up on both sides. I learned that when I used to talk to married men, and I used to be like, well, did you ask your wife? Did you let your wife know that you trying to, open some shit up? What she say? And a lot of times it was because they didn't, because they did not want to introduce a vibe in their relationship of insecurity if they didn't pursue the opportunity. So it's like, if I come in there and I tell her that I'm thinking about another woman, even if it's just a possibility, now all of a sudden, like, all her insecurities and all her stuff, and every time I go out, or every time, it's gonna be a thing, it's gonna be an issue, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, and like, yeah, I really don't want to do that. I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, I don't know if I think it's fair or not, but that's y'all. Like, okay. And then I have also said, like, you might be surprised because she might be interested. Like, she might be like, all right, we can create our own dynamic then. And, like, that be the shit that men don't really want to. And I guess some women, too. Like, they don't really want it to be open on both sides. It's like, no. Well, like, what? And then at least give them the opportunity, like, give them the sit, like, let them decide if they like, okay, we can do this or not. But people selfish, they don't want to lose out. And of course, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to have your cake and eat it too, because I don't want to have no damn cake. I don't ever bake a cake just to look at it. Like, hell no. Even when I'm like, think I'm about to bake for somebody else, I put enough batter so I can bake my own, because I want my own cake to eat. Like, so you want your cake and eat it too? Hell the fuck yeah, nigga. Like, not like that, but nigga, I'm dessert. I expect you to have me, to want me, and to eat me. The fuck? Why would it be anything else? Yes. Yes, eat me. Eat your cake. And I made it as healthy as possible. Like, because I still be trying to. Even when I do my baking, I be still trying to make that shit as healthy as possible. Like, as tasty as it's gonna be, as healthy as it's gonna be, let's ask some questions. Like, we are adults. What y'all be so scared of? Y'all need therapy. If it's sex that's keeping you bound up like that, because, like, it's not separate from y'all. And that's what I'm in with, essentially. Like, the sex is sacred because you sacred. And so however you indulge in that sacred sex is going to be sacred because you sacred. And we got to get real and get down to the bottom, to the basics, to even our children. Like, because they become teenagers. Like, there are a lot of teens that are sexually active. Y'all can't act like y'all don't see the stats. Y'all can't act like y'all don't see what can possibly happen when we so fragmented and when we so discombobulated and when we lying and when we not being real and when we not giving a proper education and when we still allowing them to give us any of their horrible ass, like, oppressive ass education that's gonna continue to keep us down here. Why they go make other ways to keep us down here? Like, these niggas is really trying to get into AI and robots and shit, and it's like, it's you, nigga. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. My thoughts be plentiful. And, like, it ain't even really gotta be an argument, or it can be a conversation, but, like, I don't have to debate anything. Like, it don't have to be a debate. It don't have to be, like, you can't make me really see your perspective because I've been there before and I done seen that perspective and I done kind of, like, got through a whole lot of stuff to where I'm, like, here. And I'm like, hey, girlie, how y'all doing? How you doing? Um, so, yeah, so I done went through a whole lot of things, and this is where I have arrived at. But I've been coming here already, even when I told, um, even when I said it out loud to my online connection, like I had said it, and I was like, I want freedom. Like, you know what? I just decided that before we even do anything else, like, I want some freedom. And he was like, what? Like, I want the ability to be free. We can have our connection, and then, like, he just like, can't nobody touch my gift from God. That's, I guess I understand what you're saying. I am a gift. That's all. That's awesome. And also, like, it's supposed to be a mirror, right? Because you was very adamant and interested in having another wife or a couple. Like, we've had the conversations multiple times. And so if I am expected to understand love in the capacity that I do, to where, like, your love for me does not mean anything less because you have other women involved, and, like, because of the strength of who I am, like, I'ma love them anyway because they women. Like, what? And I trust that you, first of all, like, you in connection with me, so, like, clearly you have amazing taste. So I'm just going to continue to assume that anything that you attracting essentially then is going to be on this level at least, or whatever. And also the fact that, like, I don't want to take anything away from what's supposed to be your happiness and your journey of life and all of this stuff that I perfectly understand when it comes to, like, the lifestyle that you say that you want us to indulge in. So then when I get over here and I'm like, okay, I've been listening, I've been growing, and I ain't never changed. And also, like, yeah, I'm saying, I ain't even saying that I'm interested in nobody yet, like, but I'm saying that I want the freedom to be able to do what the hell I want to do, including have sex with another man if I want to. Because even back there, I started thinking, like, I think I could deal with multiple men. Because at first I said no, but then I started thinking, I was like, but I think, like, it would have to be, like, if I did, they probably would have to have a wife or something, like another person, because I don't think I would want to have all that responsibility. Like, I don't think like, men, from the backgrounds and the things that I know, like, men take a lot of effort and attention, and it's essentially almost like having another kid, another responsibility. So, like, nah, I don't want another responsibility, but I might want, like, but I clearly have an attraction over here to somebody. So maybe we can just go ahead and like, hey, if you got somebody and we linking up, like, okay, and then I'm over here, like, okay, like that seemed fair to me. Then I got over here and I was like, we can just have some freedom. Like I want the freedom. Like if I come across somebody, I don't want to have to figure out like whether or not I can explore this connection however the hell I want to explore it. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have a conversation with you, but like I'm telling you now, I want to have some freedom. You want freedom, essentially. Like, you plan to wipe them up and whatever, for whatever reason in your head, like, because you feel like black women are beautiful and multiple women should be able to have the protection and the resources and the love and the attention or whatever that you can provide, and I'm all for that. I agree. And also, like, I'm a black woman. Like, one of the reasons that they're gonna be over here, essentially, I'm assuming, is because my energy is on you. And as a black woman, like, I'm magical. Do you not see how black women are running households? They already having multiple responsibilities. So imagine if we had men that were actually like protectors and providers and like stepping up and warriors and like essentially is just loving us and allowing us to be, that was so fucking comfortable and confident in their skin and who they are, that they like, all right, baby, you magical. Like, because what you think is gonna take away from you? Like, all we do is pour and we pour, and so like if you pour more into me, then I can pour more, and if it's enough spilling out to where it can be over here too, why is that an issue? Why would that be an issue? I don't see no issue with it, because y'all don't have no problem giving us a whole bunch of kids to raise and be responsible for and pour love into. Like, we can pour love into all these assignments and all these responsibilities. Like, imagine if I could pour this into another person, because also the type of men that I'm looking for or that I want and that's going to attract, like, ain't nobody got to be jealous, because, like, them alone, they going to, what? The confidence, the fucking magnitude of what that embodies, and, like, the women, like, it's already a soul tribe for that. We ain't got to do much but be who the hell we gonna be, and our people will come, and we ain't got to worry about nobody that ain't our people. We shouldn't have to, and if they want to make it a problem, it can probably be a problem, but like essentially we don't need it to be a problem. A matriarch, because I was looking back then like, oh, I see a lot of the women I know been taking care of their men. No, like they've been having a whole lot of responsibility and like not really being satisfied for real. So when I'm looking at like men that are like in a position for me to be free for real, and they not really a responsibility in those ways, what? Why can't I have a couple of them? Do you understand like how powerful we could be? And it can be the high level conversation. This could be high elevation. Like, let's elevate a little bit, whether you can see it or not. Like, I ain't gotta convince nobody. I'm just allowing myself to share what I can see, because you like not my child. I'm pouring into you a total different way. Like, you don't need the energy for that. And like, for some right men, that shit is sexy, to be able to see how one can maneuver her way around. Like, step back and just let me watch my woman work this room. And she ain't even gotta work it much, like, because when she walk in, it's already all eyes on her. And as a man, like, shit, we chose each other, because just like I chose her, she chose me. And imagine how much we elevating. And then if we can build, we over here, because if I attach this quality of man over here, just like I was telling him, you attracted that quality of woman over there. then you attract me. Then like, what men am I attracting? And then, what the fuck can we do around here? Like, and if I'm just twirling and sitting on your hey man, and it can be sacred. It can be as fun. It can be as open. It can be like all kind of shit. You know, who the fuck is to say anything about it? Cause shit, when you take that, you stay on your side of the club. Then you stay at your club. Cause I got a whole bunch of stuff in mind. I got some businesses and ideas. I got some shit that I want to do, and it might be a little unconventional. And I'll be like, it's a tribe for that. It's a tribe. Because if I'm going to be in this world like it is, then like, let me figure out the best way that I can be a resource to me first. And me being a resource to me is automatically being a resource to my people. And if we combining our resources, then we even more impactful and more powerful and shit. Quality. Quality control. The niggas trying to control our quality. Them niggas trying to control our quality and our impact by throwing all these damn restrictions into what we can do and trying to make us hide and be ashamed and okay. 1:11 on the clock.